So people are already using the chat and saying their hellos to you, Glenn.
Oh, I just saw it, yes. Great guy, Luis Reyes. He's the OP director at Delhi. Amazing, that guy.
Welcome, Kristen. Thanks for joining us. She's looking forward to the webinar. Well, our virtual room here is populated with people who are looking forward to an hour of focusing on mindfulness. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that it's 11:30 and you're in the right place. Thank you very much for logging on. I'm joined today by our executive director, Jason Lane. So I will pass the floor over to him.
Great. Thanks, Carolyn. And let me extend my welcome to each and every one of you for joining us today. We're thrilled to be able to have folks from across the great state of New York to be joining this SUNY SAIL webinar. As a quick background, many of you probably already know, but SAIL was created a couple of years ago to be a leadership think tank and an analysis unit for the SUNY system to support the development of academic leaders across all of 64 campuses of SUNY and for institutions beyond that. We are thrilled to be able to welcome a colleague from SUNY Oneonta to be talking today about mindfulness. And as we know through the work that we do regularly as leaders, we get so caught up in the day-to-day fires that we have to put out, the emails that are coming in and pounding us, that we rarely take the time to reflect. But a key skill for all leaders is reflection. We need to be able to take a chance to think about where we are and where we're going to go. And so key to that is being mindful of the moment that we're in. And so we're thrilled to be able to have a friend of mine, a colleague, and someone I've known for a long time with us today, Glenn Pichardo. Glenn is currently serves as the director of the Office of Opportunity Programs at SUNY Oneonta, where he provides leadership for the Educational Opportunity Program and the Access to College Excellence Program. Prior to working at SUNY Oneonta, Glenn worked at Mercy College in academic advising and opportunity programs. And before working in higher ed, he worked in government, serving as a legislative aide and chief of staff in the Suffolk County Legislature. Glenn earned a master's degree in public policy from Stony Brook University and a master's degree in higher education administration from the University at Albany. And he's currently pursuing a doctoral degree in education policy and leadership at the University at Albany, where I will add I'm a professor of education policy and currently also the dean of the School of Education. So glad to have you here representing Albany and Oneonta, Glenn. His professional interests include leadership development, opportunity program management, academic support services, academic program development, diversity and inclusion, and increasing student success for underserved populations. In his free time, which I'm surprised you have any, he enjoys playing basketball, spending time with his wife, and dog, and being creative. And he is a true believer and passionate advocate for being mindful as a leader. And so with that, I am thrilled to be able to turn it over to Glenn Pichardo. Glenn?
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Lane. I really appreciate that wonderful intro. It's great to see you. And Dr. Lane is not only professor and dean of the School of Education, he was also my professor and learned a tremendous amount from Dr. Lane. So I'm very humbled to be here to work with you guys. Carolyn, are you going to go over the intro? Carolyn's not there, so I'll be able to go over the, yes.
Sure, Glenn. No, I just had myself on mute there, but I've stopped the share. So when you're ready to launch your slides, you can begin.
Okay, that sounds good. I will launch my slides now. So welcome. Thank you again, Dr. Lane, for that wonderful introduction. So today's workshop is practical approaches to mindfulness on the college campus. Like Dr. Lane said, we all get busy. We all have a million and one things to do and we're getting pulled in different directions. And we get caught up in that rat race. And what research shows is that mindfulness is not only help you personally, but also will help you work better, more efficiently, more effectively, and be prepared to be a better person overall in general. So for introduction, you would just need a quiet space and be uninterrupted if possible, a comfortable chair to sit in, hopefully speakers or headphones, and if you'd like to take notes, that would be great. A pen and paper would be fine. So I just want to first start off, we have a lot of different people from all over the SUNY system. I just want to get a general poll to see what level people are at in terms of their meditation and mindfulness experience. So Carolyn's going to help us with a poll, which you should be able to answer right on your computer screen. Don't see.
So Glenn, we have at least 50 people who've cast their votes already, so they're coming right in. And we'll just give people about 30 more seconds and we'll show the results.
Okay, look forward to it.
So just a few more people, so take a moment and just answer this very brief question. What's your experience level? Either very experienced, somewhat experienced, or not experienced at all. And I do know we have some people who've logged in with their colleagues in the room, so there may be some debate. So we'll end the poll here and show you who we have in the room.
Okay, great.
Can you see the results there, Glenn? We've got 54% of the room somewhat experienced.
Okay. I can't see the results, but what's for A and C? Very experienced or not?
So we have 18% of the group is very experienced.
Good.
Most of the people here today, 54%, are somewhat experienced, and we have 29% of the people who have no experience at all.
Okay, so it's a great mix, exactly what I wanted. So hopefully someone learns something from this webinar. The very experienced people, hopefully we have a time to share at the end what practices you do to sort of de-stress, be more mindful in your jobs and maybe also your personal life. So thank you so much, Carolyn, for doing that poll, and thank you for everybody for answering that. All right, so just to start, I just want to get some definitions out of the way. There's different definitions for mindfulness. The definition I'm going to use is not being lost in thought. So this is basically the human condition. We're all in our heads. We have a million different things to do between personal and professional, and we get caught up of being lost in thought all the time. People that probably try to fall asleep, the best way I explain it to people is when you try to fall asleep and your thoughts keep racing over and over again, it doesn't just start at night. Your mind has been racing the whole entire day. Mindfulness is not stopping thinking, but not being caught up in the stream of consciousness that still is drawing you into that thinking. So meditation is a practice that cultivates not being lost in thought. So that's just one aspect, a subset of mindfulness. There's many different things you can do, which we'll go over, practical approaches of mindfulness. But meditation is one of the tools in your toolbox that you can use to help you become more mindful. And mindfulness practices, again, is a more broad category in terms of not just meditation, but any activity that allows you to be in the present moment. So our agenda for today, so some people have some experience with mindfulness, other people don't have any, and some people are experts. So we'll be looking to hear from everybody later on, hopefully. So I'm just gonna go over overview of mindfulness, what some of the benefits of mindfulness are, some mindfulness practices, and then also the best thing out of any webinar or any lecture you go to, if you don't do anything afterwards, it could be great, it could be inspirational, you really enjoy the information that's given to you, but if you don't actually use the things that you learn, you're not going to be able to change anything. So, oops, went back. So this is just a brief video. Hopefully everybody can see it. This is a brief video about meditation, how it can be used, and how it doesn't have to be all day. You don't have to sit in a cave and meditate all day. You could just do many things for 5 minutes a day that will have a positive impact on your life. So here we go.
Glenn, you need to share.
Meditation does not involve joining a group, paying any fees, wearing any
Carolyn, can everybody see the video?
No, you need to press share on the screen so that they can see your screen.
Okay, I will do that. All right, so share. And that is practical approaches. All right, all right, can people see it now?
Yes, looks
All
good.
right.
Despite what you may have heard, meditation does not involve joining a group, paying any fees, wearing any special outfits, sitting in a funny position, or believing in anything in particular. It is simple, secular, scientifically validated exercise for your brain. You don't have to do it yet, but just so you know, here are the 3 steps. 1, sit with your back straight and your eyes closed. 2, notice the feeling of your breath coming in and going out. Pick a spot where it's most prominent. Usually that's your nose or your chest or your belly, and just focus your full attention on the feeling of your breath coming in and going out. Now, as soon as you try to do this, your mind's gonna go nuts. You're gonna start thinking about, what am I gonna have for lunch? Why did I say that dumb thing to my boss? Your brain's gonna go nuts, and that's fine. The whole game is to notice when you've gotten lost and to start over, and then to start over again, and again, and again. Every time you do that, it's like a bicep curl for your brain, and it shows up on the brain scan. Scientists have found this in the lab. It's also, by the way, a radical act. You're breaking a lifetime's habit of walking around in a fog of projection and rumination, and you're actually focusing on what's happening right now. Meditation is unlike anything you do in the rest of your life. Failure is actually success. As I said, the whole game is just trying, failing, starting again, failing, starting again. Here's my advice. You should be meditating every day, 5 to 10 minutes a day. That's it. This doesn't require some giant investment. I don't care how busy you are. You have 5 to 10 minutes to give this a shot. I guarantee you it will make a big difference.
All right, so from that video, can Carolyn, everybody see the slide that's up next?
Yes, and there was actually a question that came in about the video. Someone's curious if the narrator is Dan Harris.
Yes, that's very good. Dan Harris is actually ABC News correspondent who had a panic attack on air. And he created this website and this YouTube channel, Happify. And he has a book talking about meditation. It's called 10% Happier, which he just talks about the benefit of meditation in his life and how it really affected him personally and professionally. So there's a lot of benefits to meditation. I'm really interested as an academic in the scientific benefits. Again, there's some religious and practices that are done associated with meditation. I'm more into the science. What are the actual scientific proof or data that show that meditation is helpful? Number 1, increases positive emotion or happiness, decreases depression. That's big. Reduces stress. How many people here are stressed at their jobs? I pretty much everybody probably has some level of stress. And really what's exciting is not only in emotion and how people feel, but actually anatomically, meditation can actually change the structure of your brain through neuroplasticity. And that is just really in the last maybe 10, 15 years, I'm not a neurologist, we've discovered that neuroplasticity, the ability to change the actual structure of your brain through meditation. So this is the short little video next on what the benefits of meditation are and how it actually changed the structure of your brain. And Carolyn, can everybody see that?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, sounds good.
Researchers have known for decades that meditation can improve someone's physical and mental health. It can relieve stress, lower blood pressure, and lift someone's mood. But only in the last 10 years have neuroscientists taken a serious look at the changes in brain structure underlying some of meditation's benefits. Like everything else we do, meditation rewires our neural circuits, pruning away the least used connections and strengthening the ones we exercise most. Studies looking for signs of these changes usually focus on mindfulness meditation, which challenges people to keep their attention fixed on their thoughts and sensations in the present moment. Scientists acknowledge that many of these studies are small and not ideally designed, but at this point, researchers have gathered enough evidence to be confident that their findings are not just flukes. Experiments suggest that Buddhist monks have really robust connections between scattered regions of their brains, which allows for more synchronized communication. Expert meditators also seem to develop an especially wrinkly cortex, the brain's outer layer. We depend on the cortex for many of our most sophisticated mental abilities, like abstract thought and introspection. Several studies have confirmed that meditation can increase the volume and density of the hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped area of the brain in the middle of the skull that is absolutely crucial for memory. And although areas of the brain responsible for sustaining attention usually shrink as we age, meditation counteracts this decay. An increasing number of studies show that meditating for as little as 12 to 20 minutes a day for several weeks can sharpen the mind. In these studies, meditators have scored higher on tests of attention and working memory, which is the ability to temporarily store and manipulate information in one's mind. Some lifelong meditators in their 50s and 60s can even outperform 20-somethings on tests of visual attention. So if you're interested in trying meditation, you should probably start as soon as possible. For Scientific American's Instant Egghead, I'm Ferris Jaber.
So from that video, you can see the benefits, not only emotionally and how you feel, but also in terms of your actual shape of your brain. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it's, to be honest, it's in its early stages in terms of research. Sarah Lazar at Harvard's doing a lot of work. University of Wisconsin at Madison does a lot of work on mindfulness and how it affects your brain. So it's really, really exciting. It also is applicable, mindfulness, to leadership. And as people know, Daniel Goleman from Emotional Intelligence talks about the 4 benefits of mindfulness in terms of leadership. It's stronger focus, staying calmer under stress. So we have a lot of stress, again, at work, and how can we maintain our cool and composure in really stressful situations, maintain better memory, and also to be a good corporate citizen, which means being compassionate and kind to others, which I think is very important in terms of leadership. It's basically how you treat people. So not only is it applicable mindfulness to your personal life, but also in terms of your leadership development as well. So very exciting research in terms of mindfulness. So now we're getting to the guided meditation points. So this is about a 5-minute video. There's many different types of meditation. There's mantra meditation. Probably some people are familiar with, Buddhist monks saying and you could do that. There's also breathing meditation, which we'll do. There's body scan meditations where you can focus on your body. There's meditations that you focus on an external object, such as a candle. There's many different types of meditations. Not one's better than the other. It's one that suits you. So you'll probably notice in this, when you do the guided meditation, you should try to close your eyes if possible. If you're in a group, it might be a little bit hard for you to do that, but try to get as comfortable as possible. The idea is to be upright, but not uptight. Sometimes with meditation, you actually can fall asleep. So you don't want to fall asleep during this time. You're definitely in the workday. So you want to make sure you're concentrating. And you saw from the Dan Harris video earlier that once you start to try to focus on your breath, you'll find that your mind will just start to wander. You're in the middle of the workday right now. You haven't had lunch yet, probably. You focus on getting that. You have a meeting later on today. You have to get the kids, pick up the kids from school. All these things are going to come into your mind, and that's okay. The whole idea of being mindful is noticing when your mind shifts over. So instead of saying, oh man, I'm not doing this meditation the correct way, what you should do is just congratulate yourself when you find your mind wandering, when you find your mind going off to a distant place, which I guarantee will happen unless you've been meditating for 50 years, even then probably will happen. But once you find your mind wandering away, what you want to do is just say, wow, I'm doing a really good job noticing when I'm not being mindful. So it's a positive thing that you should sort of take away from this exercise. And again, meditation is sort of like exercising. You're not going to be perfect the first time you do it. And a lot of people struggle. They say, I try to meditate, but my mind goes crazy and I can't really focus. Well, that's the idea. It's like going to the gym and saying, oh, my muscles hurt after workout, so I'm not going to go back. Well, yes, that happens. But if you keep going back to the gym and you keep working on your muscles, you'll get bigger and you get stronger or leaner, whatever your goals are, and you'll get quote unquote better at it. So through this exercise, it's going to be a little bit tough. Try to get comfortable, sit back and listen to the guided meditation, and don't be too hard on yourselves. All right.
Mindful breathing. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees. Bring your awareness to the touch of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your body on your chair or cushion. Begin by finding a comfortable posture. Lean slightly forward and back to one side and then the other. Find a comfortable balance as you come back to the center. Now, sitting up straight, feel your head on the top of your neck. How can you sit so that your head, neck, and back feel most comfortable? Take a few deep breaths. While you are breathing deeply, relax your shoulders, your stomach muscles, the muscles in your face and your hands and your legs. Let go of all the tension in your body. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Where do you feel it most? In your nose or your stomach? In the rise and fall of your chest? Just notice where you feel it most and allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. Now, notice what the breath feels like as it enters through your nose, goes down your throat, filling your lungs, and back out through your nose. Notice your stomach and chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale, and allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. Now bring your awareness to the sensation of your breath in your nose. Feel your breath as it comes in and goes out. Just focus on this sensation, paying attention to each inhale and exhale. When your mind wanders or if you become distracted, just notice what's going on in your head and then gently bring your attention back to your breath, going in and out. Focus on the sensation of your breath in the foreground, allowing thoughts and feelings to come and go in the background. Now gently bring your attention back to the touch of your body on your seat and open your eyes.
Okay, so I know probably people have different experiences with meditation, as we had from the results before in the initial poll. Some people have a lot of experience, some people have none, some people have a little bit. And it doesn't really matter what level you're at. Just want to get a feedback on how that meditation went. Were you distracted on this poll? Were you somewhat present, or were you completely present during the whole time? And just be honest, and you'll see probably by the poll results, you're probably in the same category as everybody else. So we'll give you a couple minutes to answer that question on your computer screen.
We've got 40 people who've cast their votes already, so we'll just give it another 30 seconds or so. You should see that right on your screen, and just click the link, distracted, somewhat present, or completely present. Okay, and you should be able to see the results right on your screen now that we had 67% of the group somewhat present, and the next largest category was 24% felt distracted, and 8% were completely present.
All right, let's give it up for the 8% people. That's pretty impressive. I was distracted a little bit, but that's because I'm doing this webinar. But yeah, so you'll see most of the people is 67 plus 24, that's 80, 91, almost 92. Percent of the people were either distracted or somewhat distracted or present. So that's very normal and natural to have your brain wander and go all over the place. And for some people, I would say don't take this one experience and say, all right, meditation is not for me. Again, you'll need to try it over and over again to find which type of meditation works for you. And if you keep trying it, I've been practicing meditation for 10 years, and there's all different types of meditation that you can do. But there's also other mindfulness activities that'll help you be more present, more relaxed, re-network some of the brain pathways that we talked about in that video that we showed earlier. There's many different things to do to help you be more relaxed and calm in the present. It's really what you're doing is exercising for your mind. So I made the analogy previously about meditation being like exercising for your body. Meditation is really exercising for your mind. You're increasing your attention span, your ability to focus, your ability to remain in the present moment. There's a great TED talk about this researcher who did research on students and looking at just asking one question. It was an app on their phone, and they just basically text messaged them asking one question: are you present or are you distracted? And then gauge their level of happiness. And it doesn't matter what the people were thinking about in terms of if they had thoughts about something else or if they were in the present. The people that were more present were always more happier. So mindfulness increases your happiness, increases your focus, and increases your productivity at work. So if your boss is looking at you now, what are you doing looking at this webinar? Actually, people who are more mindful, we hear a lot about multitasking being important. Single tasking, as people might know, is a lot more effective and efficient at getting work done. If you focus on one thing at a time, which I know is a luxury for a lot of people, if you focus on one thing at a time, you're more likely to do a more thorough and complete job on that rather than jumping back and forth. So this is just one tool to use meditation. Again, there's many different types of meditation. What we're going to next and hopefully get some feedback from other people is what are some other things that people to do to A, relieve stress, or B, be more mindful. And there's many different things that you can do, such as going outside, being in nature or gardening, being with the earth and being in a natural surrounding. A good meditation practice, for example, is just to look at a tree or a plant and look how still they are and really stop to smell the roses, I guess is a good way to put it. And once you do that, you just come into contact with the essence of nature, and you'll find out that nature is very present. You know, for example, one of my favorite things to do is play with my dog Max. And he is a 12-year-old beagle, and he's always present. He's just always there. He's never worried about the time he got a treat 2 weeks ago or the treat he's going to get in the next 2 weeks. He's worried about the treat he wants now. So he's always in the present, and we can learn a lot from animals, dogs, cats, whatever animals that you have. And that also helps us become more mindful. You know, usually animals don't worry too much. So also, I talked about the meditation being exercise for your brain and physical activity being exercise for your body, but your brain and your body are connected, and that's the essence of yoga, is that mind-body connection. They're actually one and the same. Interesting research about depression. A lot of depression is actually caused by your stomach and serotonin. Serotonin definitely affects your mind and how you feel, and a lot of the serotonin is actually produced in your stomach. So things you eat are very important in terms of happiness and maintaining your well-being. But any sports, like I mentioned before, I like to play basketball, any physical activity where you're not distracted and thinking about something else, you're focused on what you're actually doing. Listening to music is a wonderful way to get into the present moment. Dancing, whatever you do. You might see adult coloring books now. I know this is coloring books for adults might be a little weird to some people, but that's another way to just have your mind just focused on the present moment, or any sort of crossword puzzles. And there's many different other mindfulness practices that you can do. Anything that focuses you on what you're actually doing in the present moment will help your brain to increase its attention and focus. So the next slide is just a question and answer session, and anybody can ask any questions they want, but just to kick it off, I know some people said they have a lot of experience with mindfulness or meditation. What are some activities that you do that really help you to relieve stress and be in the present moment? So we'll give you some time to answer that question. Hopefully you can do that through the chat, I believe, right, Carolyn?
Yes, the chat is open, and there's also a Q&A section, so feel free to type any answers into there. Okay, yoga and reading.
Yes, we mentioned yoga before. Reading is a great way to relieve stress and maintain your focus. Reading is, you can find out a lot about reading in terms of mindfulness. How many people have ever read something, went down the whole page or a couple pages, and you're like, what did I just read? That's when you know that your mind has shifted away to something else, and it can show you when you're not being mindful. Again, you'll notice, if you notice yourself not being mindful, you should congratulate yourself. I'm like, great, now I'm noticing my mind wandering and going off on a tangent.
Yeah. I'm just going to type them onto the screen here, but people are doing a great job putting them onto the Q&A section. And we've got people who are mountain biking, going on walks, power naps for 15 minutes, and people using a meditation app on their phone.
Yes, that's great. So, Jill says prayer. Definitely one of the things you could do. Calm and 10% happier. Yep, someone already knows about Dan Harris. Doris Diaz-Kelly, hi Doris. She does prayer as well. Oh, going to the beach in winter, okay. Again, being around nature, one of the reasons the beach is so a great place, if you notice the waves that come in, it reminds you of your breath, you know, the in and the out. And that's one thing you always have. In terms of mindfulness, your breath is always your best friend. Why is your breath always your best friend? Because you're always breathing. If you're not, you have a bigger problem not being mindfulness, you not be alive. If you focus on your breath, that's the best way to get into, one of the ways entryways into the present moment. Lisa says walking into the woods. Again, being in nature, being around all that calmness and stillness really helps. The more you're able to cultivate an inner life of being calm and serene, it really doesn't matter too much the environment that you're in. So you could be in the middle of rush hour in Midtown Manhattan and still have the same level of calmness, maybe a little bit more anxious, but as being in the middle of on the beach or in the woods, that's when you're really good, when you know that it doesn't matter too much the outer surroundings. You focus on inner peace. It was a great book by Viktor Frankl called Man's Search for Meaning. And in that book, he says, man's last great freedom is to decide how to react to a situation. You can't really control what happens to you, but what mindfulness allows you to do is to respond rather than to react to a situation. So most of us are just triggered by a stimulus. Someone yells at us, we yell back, boom. What mindfulness allows us to do is to cultivate that inner stillness and that inner peace. So when someone does yell at us, we could take some time just to reflect, how should I respond in an intelligent way, rather than just have that knee-jerk reaction in terms of just going back at somebody else.
Got wonderful answers here.
Yes, this is all great. All these are good. Running outdoors, playing with pets. Painting is very big. You notice the theme of the arts, anything with music, painting, writing, reading, martial arts, crafting. Ooh, shutting off electronics, that's a hard one. We're so connected these days. We're connected to our electronics, but not connected to ourselves. That's really the issue. Oh, that would be nice. Enjoying the hot tub. Wow, okay, someone has a Corvette.
So we'll save this, and everyone will have some good ideas if they want to look for some practices to incorporate into their life.
Yes, so if you ever want to be mindful, you can come over and mow my lawn. I would love that. Also volunteering. That's a big one right there, volunteering. So that's, we think of mindfulness as a solitary practice, and obviously you can go, I've been to a 10-day meditation retreat where it was completely silent. Again, it's not for everybody, but that's something you could do. But volunteering is a great way, as Gandhi said, to get present. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service of others. And it's a great way to be in the human service field or volunteer to help other people. And you sort of lose that worry that you always have in your head, or at least I have in my head a lot, always thinking about the future, always thinking about what I'm going to do next, all the responsibilities, my task list every day, over and over again. That could be really draining on somebody. So these mindfulness activities, such as like taking a bath or going to the hot tub or going skiing, whatever it is, coloring books, they seem selfish on its face. What I always tell my team here is the more you take care of yourself each day after you leave from work, the more refreshed you'll be for the next day. Please do more of these things, and it doesn't have to be meditation. That's just one way to become more mindful. These are all great activities, and if you found that the meditation practice that we did today wasn't for you, there's a ton of other resources that we could show you. And Carolyn, are they able to see my screen, or are they on your screen?
I can stop the share and bring it back to you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Carolyn. You do an amazing job. I don't know how you do all that stuff with the technology, but you're doing awesome.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up. I know we're going back and forth here.
No, that's fine. Great responses. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I want to get everybody's feedback on how they relax and what they do to become more mindful and present. So I'm going to share my screen, right, Carolyn? Yes. Can everybody see that, Carolyn? All right, so I'm going to continue on. So that was a question and answer session. So any other questions? We're going to hold off on it now because we have to leave some time at the end. But we were talking before, let's see, about meditation resources. Can everybody see that, Carolyn?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, great. So we mentioned before about calm.com. It's one of the apps that we have. I don't have it on this list. Headspace is another really great app. They have a 10-day free trial that goes, and they have these really great videos that you can watch, relaxed melodies, again, music to calm you down. YouTube videos, there's thousands of YouTube videos with different types of meditations, different web pages that you can go to. On your college campuses, there should be a lot of resources available through the Counseling Center. We have a class on campus here at SUNY Oneonta, a stress relief class. We also have a meditation class, yoga class, so a lot of different resources for people to get into meditation. And silent meditation retreats, it's the Vipassana meditation retreat. It's over in Massachusetts, and it's absolutely free. That's if anybody wants to go. They have 3-day ones, 10-day ones, free food, free lodging, free classes. It's a really amazing experience to try to check out. So a whole bunch of different resources that you can utilize in terms of meditation or just mindfulness in general. 2 great books. Mayo Clinic, as everybody knows, is the top hospital in the United States. And they wrote a book on stress-free living, and a lot of the book has to do with mindfulness-based practices. And what I like about it, again, is that it's written by a medical doctor. On the other side of it, well, the complimentary is Eckhart Tolle. He wrote The Power of Now and also A New Earth. He's on the Oprah Book of the Month Club, and he sold millions and millions of books. And that's what really, one of the things that got me into meditation and mindfulness is reading that book. And also having a yoga class when I was in graduate school at the University of Albany. Dr. Bruce McEwen from the UAlbany School of Public Health actually gave free meditation classes, free yoga classes, free vegetarian dinners, and he's actually one that got me started into mindfulness and meditation. But these are 2 great resources, again, to reduce stress, be more mindful, and have you step out of the human condition, which is constantly being lost in thought. So that is my presentation. Thank you so much. Everybody's been great, absolutely amazing, giving feedback on their mindfulness practices, doing the polls. If you have any questions, if I can help with anything, that's my phone number, my email address. And I strongly encourage you to attend a lot of the SUNY SAIL events. I went to the leadership retreat, the summer leadership retreat, amazing. This is my first year in my new role as director, and it allowed me to be prepared for my job as best as possible. I went to a winter leadership retreat. I went to a one-day workshop on assertive communication. So SUNY SAIL has a wide array of suite of opportunities available for professional development. So I encourage you to take advantage of those resources as much as possible. And hopefully people like this, maybe we could do something additionally, maybe another workshop or something like that, where people can actually come, get out of the office and really have a good time to be centered and be present with one another.
Glenn, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You did a wonderful job, and I know this is a passion of yours, and it comes through. He came to our winter leadership retreat in January, so we had 2.5 days with our higher ed leaders who are focused on their own professional development, and Glenn walked right in and introduced meditation and mindfulness practices, and I think we all had so much fun that we just were looking for an opportunity to do something more. So I'm glad that we have a captive audience this morning to be introduced to this topic. And I welcome you all to share this with your staff. If you have other people in your office, this program will be on demand after today. So it'll be right on SUNY SAIL's website. So thank you, Glenn. You did a wonderful job. And I know there are people typing in now looking for more information about the free silent meditation retreats. So I'll make sure that all those questions get to you and we can share the information with people.
I would love to. And Carolyn, you did an awesome job as always. Thank you. You do amazing work.
Thank you. Yeah, if you don't mind, I have actually just a couple of slides that I was hoping to share with people. If they're looking to get involved with the SAIL Institute, we've got some programs coming up. So just a brief public service announcement, if you will. Just pull those up. Let's see here. Okay. So Glenn mentioned our summer leadership program. This is probably the most popular program that SAIL offers, and it's offered the last week in July every summer. So this year's no exception. 2019 is sure to be popular and fill up. We can accommodate 36 people from across the SUNY system. This is a SUNY only program, and it's offered to those who have a successful nomination. So the nomination period is open right now, and if you go to sunysail.org, you can find information about our summer program and submit a nomination either for yourself or for a colleague at your campus. We also are offering department chair training. So this is a 2-day program for anyone who's in the role of a department chair at a SUNY campus. And actually this is open to some private institutions as well. We offered it last year in May, and we're offering it again May 23rd and 24th this year at the Carey Institute, which is about 40 minutes southwest of Albany. So right in the capital region, but it's a beautiful rural location and a chance to get out of your campus, off your campus, out of your routine, and network with some SUNY colleagues who are dealing with similar issues as department chairs, and some great resources and a chance to grow in that leadership area. So registration actually is open for that now, and I would encourage you to share that with your campus colleagues. We also have a student leadership program with seats available in June. So the registration is not quite open for this yet, but if you want to mark your calendar for June 17 through 20, we will be offering an informational session open to anyone, students, faculty, anyone who's interested in learning more about a student leadership opportunity. It's going to be happening in the heart of New York City. It's a 4-day program that we do in partnership with Common Purpose, a not-for-profit based in the UK. And it's a curriculum that takes place in the classroom where students are given these wonderful leadership learning opportunities, but they also have immersion learning right within the heart of the city. So there are visits being planned for great sites across New York, and the topic this year is going to be engaging the generations to leverage artificial intelligence. So really interesting topic and a wonderful opportunity. We've had some alumni of that program who are going to be talking on our free webinar. So that'll happen March 29th. At both 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. We'll record the webinars, but we'll be sending information about that so you can sign up and participate in the live webinar, or the program will be recorded. But we'll be looking to get some interest in that program this spring, and that will take place in June. Just want to let people know that SAIL is happy to design a program that makes sense for your campus, for your particular team, and we offer custom workshops, and we're happy to travel to your campus. People always ask, how can I get involved? So we want to give you some quick and easy ways to do that. We talked about some of our programs that include nominations. So nominate someone. If you're seeing someone do a good job and you think that they've got some potential to really be doing more in higher ed, please nominate them. Or if you want to take those next steps in your career, nominate yourself. We are happy to have people self-nominate. Invite us to your campus. We're happy to join your team and get involved in some of the work that's happening right there. And you won't have to travel to us. We're happy to come to you. So similar to what Glenn did today, he was happy to share his expertise and knowledge about mindfulness. We're always looking for people who want to partner with us and bring their message to the full spectrum of SUNY campuses and colleagues. So if you'd like to present on a webinar, or if you'd like to write a blog for us, we're happy to share that information and give you the opportunity to spread your message further. We also have a few SAIL fellows, and so if someone is really interested in focusing on their ability to be developing and delivering leadership content, we're looking for fellows, and we're always open to your ideas. So if you've got something that you think we should be doing and investigating a little bit further to help the system, please let us know. So reach out. If you want to learn more about what's happening at SAIL, we're on Twitter, and we also have an email sign up right on our homepage of our website. So if you go to sunysail.org, there's a quick and easy button right there where you can sign up and receive the SAIL email. So you'll see from time to time that we do have blog articles that are sent out, and that's how you sign up for it. So that is all I really wanted to say about what's going on at SAIL right now, but if there are any questions, please let us know. It looks like we do have some chat going on here. So is the student leadership program open to all SUNY students? And the answer is yes, it is. There is a fee for that, and we're going to be sharing more about the cost that's involved, but it's open to any SUNY student. Are the SUNY SAIL workshops on campus free of charge? So when SAIL comes to a campus, there is a fee associated with that, and we're happy to put together proposals for a campus to see if what we can do makes sense financially. And from time to time, we do offer public workshops, but we have been more in demand and meeting the custom needs of campuses lately. So aside from our signature programs where people can sign up or nominate, we do come to the campus, and there is a fee associated with that. The website looks like it's just a few campuses. Not sure what that's in reference to. And then just going back, there was another question. There are Vipassana retreat centers all over the world. Okay, so back to the meditation. And so they're donation based. They appreciate time and monetary donations, whatever folks can afford, just a heads up. So thank you, Katie, for that information. And I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add about the retreats, Glenn, but again, thank you for all of your expertise on that.
Yeah, if they want to go, just Google Vipassana Meditation Center. The closest one is in Massachusetts, but they do local programs, like in New York City, for example, they have programming. And just Google that, or just contact me, and I'll be able to provide more information about that. It's a great opportunity.
Great. All right, Glenn. Well, without any further questions, it looks like we have given the folks what they were looking for. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for everyone for attending this webinar.